We always want to bring you opportunities from Icon Coaching and on our webinars. Not just, we got Monika getting ready to talk, man. She is a fireball. And I can't wait to hear all the things that she has to say. Selling one house her first year. Are you kidding me? One house? How many of us would have quit? Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is actually afternoon also in the Pacific Coast, just for a few minutes. It's 12:01 right now. But hey, listen, welcome to Icon Coaching's webinar. And my name is Rob Daniel. I'm the CEO of Icon Coaching. And we have Sean on here, the founder, of course. And he's going to be facilitating this whole webinar. And most of you know Sean, you've been on our webinars, you've been on everything. I do want to, before I introduce our guests that are on here, to talk to you about some opportunities. And I'm sure Sean will also have a couple things to say about them. We always want to bring you opportunities from Icon Coaching and on our webinars. Not just, we got Monika getting ready to talk, man. She is a fireball. And I can't wait to hear all the things that she has to say. Selling one house her first year. Are you kidding me? One house? How many of us would have quit, got out of here, went and found something, do something else, whatever it is, but she stuck with it, and you're going to find out a lot of things about that. However, I do want to say that we have three guests that are here with us right now, and I want to introduce them, and I'll introduce them in the order in which they are going to talk. Okay. And we're going to first have Greg. Now, some of you, again, have been on our webinars. I know what I was going to say. You got to write this one down. We've got a special webinar for all of you that I want to announce. You know, Sean did his buyer presentation, and it was just out of sight. Okay. And so many of you just really sent in a lot of great things about it. Well, guess what? On the 16th of September, Monday the 16th, write that down, 3 o'clock Eastern, and we'll get all the advertisement out over the next couple of weeks. Sean is going to be doing his listing presentation. Sean, you corrected me, and I probably still don't have it right. 164 attempts and took in 162 listings.
You're really close, Rob. You're so close. Last year at production, we went on 162 listing presentations. We took 160 listings. So again, I want you to tune into this. This is a high conversion listing presentation that it's going to stretch your mind a little bit. It's going to help you get that next listing when you invest the time wisely. To learn about this listing presentation, I'm going to share with you the slide deck. I'm going to share with you the 42 scripts and objection handlers that come along with it. And guys, I just want you to lean in on this. Increase that listing presentation to listing signed conversion rate. And this is definitely going to help you do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Greg, and he is with I love saying that, Greg. I really do. The Federal Savings Bank. And he's got an opportunity for you. And whenever he finishes, I'll introduce you to the next person that's going to be speaking. So, Greg, take it over.
Well, thank you again for having me on the call, Sean and team at Icon Coaching. At the Federal Savings Bank, we've created an extremely unique opportunity for the right real estate agents that we're partnering with. And we've figured out a way compliantly to leverage our federal bank charter to bring on real estate agents as licensed real estate bankers, loan officers, to accomplish a few things. One, help them earn income per transaction closed. Number two, stay compliant, because RESPA governs your business as well as it governs the mortgage industry. Number three, giving you control of the transaction when and if you ever need it. And then number four, maintaining an extremely high level of customer service for you and for your clients. Now, under the bank charter, you're not required to have any individual state licensing. So you wouldn't have to take the 20-hour course or pass the state mandated test. Federal bank charter trumps all of that. We got a really great opportunity for everyone. I'm going to put my information into the chat along with a QR code. And if you have any questions or you're interested in this program, please reach out to us. Some of the agents that we brought on are very heavy producers that will earn $100,000, $150,000 in ancillary income this year as a result of the program. So look forward to hearing from everybody. And thank you again for having me on the call.
All right. Well, thank you, Greg. I really appreciate that. And our next guest, real quick, is Crystal, and she has they've created a concierge service, for your database. Many of you need that concierge service. So, Crystal, take it away and tell us about the concierge service.
Thank you so much, Rob and Sean, for having me on here a minute. Hey, guys, I've been a realtor for 22 years. That's quite a long time and all. And through those years, I've looked at other opportunities, but now I am connected with a concierge service. They kind of call us the Amazon of services. Think about it. We are connectors, aren't we? People look to us for everything. But think the last time you went to a really good restaurant and you recommended it to someone, did you make anything on that? Well, this is how you can be an added service to your clients. Remember, they may close with you now, but they may not need you again for 7 years on the average. This way, through this concierge service, you're still front of mind for them as their friends and family, just, buy homes and stuff like that. You're front of mind. It is things they won't need and use on a monthly basis. Everything from cell service to that television, to that internet, to that security system in their home, the things that people are going to be getting as buyers and sellers, things they're going to be dealing with. So I'm going to drop my email in the chat. Just reach out to me with your email if you would like some more information. Again, it's an added on service that we are giving a benefit to our clients for, and that is, that just gives benefit back to us too. So, and also with this is health coverage. Impact Health Sharing, which is a nonprofit. So many realtors don't have any kind of health coverage, your 1099ers, anyone like that. So again, there's also a market for health coverage for yourself or to offer it to your 1099ers and other people like that. So really, I'm going to pop my email in there. Just drop me your email if you'd like some more information. Thanks, guys. I'll send it back to you, Rob.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank you.
Crystal.
Let me just say one thing real quick, Rob, just real fast. Guys, NAR did a case study that suggests that the average real estate transaction that is completed in the US generates and pumps into our economy over $83,000 per transaction. Think about it. The real estate commission, the mortgage loan origination fee, the roofer who replaced the roof, the carpet layer who installed new carpet, the stager. There's so many industries that benefit from your transaction. Now, the reason I bring that up is because I want you to get a piece of that 83,000. And that's what ACN does for you. It helps you get a piece. See, why is it that the realtor is the only one who's investing the money to generate the lead, then convert the lead, get it under contract to close? Why is the realtor the only one supporting the opportunity? Let these people participate with you in the opportunity by offsetting your expenses through ACN. I think it makes a lot of sense. Okay. And by the way, I'm never going to bring anything to you guys that is not going to be a massive benefit to your net income, your bottom line. See, it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep. I think you guys are with me. So thank you for that, Crystal, and Rob, take it back over.
Yeah, we have one more for you. This is Leland Rubin, and he is with what they call a GFI, Global Federal Investments. And so I think you're going to enjoy this. So Leland, take it over.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on here, Sean, and your team. My name is Leland Rubin. I'm one of the co-founders of Global Financial Impact. And what we are doing is offering an add-on service to all of you that are in your industry, because we work with the middle class and all classes basically on financial education, making sure that people have tax-free retirements, and most of all, making sure that people understand how they can outpace inflation with interest rates. There are several ways that you can do that, but these concepts have been around for over 100 years. They've been utilized for people in all different types of industries, and we want to bring this information to you to see how you can take advantage of it. I want to tell you just one quick story. I was working with a gentleman the other day, and he basically was getting ready to retire, and we were able to help him move his money. He got huge interest rates on his money, and unfortunately, a month later, he passed away. Well, that family was able to get that money and be able to move that money tax-free 100% and also be able to keep all those assets. So what we're doing right now is we're working parallel with your industry. We have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that are coming from your industry that are working with us and being able to help these families in all classes be able to understand how they can get a tax-free retirement, how they can actually outpace inflation, and most of all, have tax-free distributions. So I'm going to go ahead and put my email inside of the chat. If you want to reach out to us, we can give you more information. We appreciate you having us on here.
Yeah,
All
by
right.
the way,
Well, thank you, Leland.
Yeah, with Leland and his organization, you guys, this is a reason, and a powerful reason, a beneficial reason to reach out to your customers, your past clients, your sphere of influence, to really position yourself in their mind. And that's why I bring these guys here, because when you align with them, what you're doing is you're doubling, tripling, quadrupling your effectiveness with your drip campaigns, with your lead conversion strategies, and probably most importantly, enhancing the number of referrals that you're getting on a monthly basis. So all of these companies are going to help you make that happen. And I love it. Back over to you, Rob.
Well, Sean, I think it's time now for our featured guest here, and just real excited. I'm going to let you, certainly introduce her. You coach with her, and I have had the opportunity to meet her here on Zoom, just absolutely dynamic. And I can't wait to hear the things that she's going to help us with and teach us. So, Sean, it's all yours.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, everybody. Guys, I'm fired up today. I got to tell you, I'm doing my best to hold it back, yet I am just so excited to have Monika Deroussel. She's a past client of mine. We still work together, and man, she has just blown her business up. She's a solo agent. She went from one transaction her first year, and many of you can relate like me. My first year was like terrible. I had 2 first years, okay, in real estate sales. And Monika's kind of in the same boat as many of us have been, and yet she's figured it out over the course of the last decade to build that from one transaction her first year to around 120 transactions per year with one unlicensed assistant, guys. I mean, she is just, she's the outlier. And while many of you are solo agents on this call, many of you might have a team. Either way, you're going to learn a lot from Monika. So, Monika, welcome to our call.
Thank you for having me. I'm so blessed to be with you, Sean. Thank you.
Well, back at you, Monika. Thank you. So real quick, let's rewind the tape. Let's go to that first year. Tell me the experience. Tell me the emotions, the feelings, the anxiety, the trepidation. I mean, what were you going through, recognizing, man, you're hammering away at this brick wall and it's not given. How did you feel?
So we moved to Cincinnati from St. Paul, Minnesota, and I decided to take a leave of absence from 3M and get my real estate license. Well, Cincinnati is fairly small town USA, and everybody's related to real estate agents. We have about 10,000 agents in Cincinnati. So you turn left, you turn right, everybody knows realtor, everybody's related to one, everybody went to high school with one. So I got my real estate license in my first year. My friend from Switzerland was going back home to Switzerland. So I sold Via's house and I made amazing $1,200. Now I came from corporate background, made pretty 6-figure income, and I went down to $1,200. And everybody, including my husband, said, I know you like the real estate, but I don't think this is gonna work. I mean, when you spend money on signs, business cards, and everything we do as a real estate agent, and you bring home at the end of your $1,200, I don't think you're gonna get anybody excited. So that was my beginning of real estate. And I remember when I started with the brokerage, they said, good luck. And that was the extent of training I received. So I thought, well, it's just like a running. I'm a professional runner. I ran all my life since I was 10 years old. So I thought, well, nobody gets really good or fast within, a couple of weeks of running or a first year of running. So I'll just stay the course. And eventually, we get faster and we get better. So I took the running approach to real estate and just built a network of friends and referral partners that start referring me slowly and surely business. So I went from 1 house first year to 5 houses. And then from 5 homes, the second year, I jumped to 35 homes a year. And I think the number one key step in that leap of business from 5 to 35 homes a year was, first of all, you have to humble yourself being a real estate agent. And I would just ask everybody I knew for help. Can you help me? Who do you know that's considering buying and selling? So, I would always ask my friends, in mom's group, hey, if you know of anybody who's talking about moving, please let me know. I would love to assist. Coming from corporate background was a huge help to my business. I'm Six Sigma Black Belt certified, and having that background helped me look at the real estate as the business instead of as a hobby. And so I tell the agents that I have with me today that it is our job to know the market. Like, people pretend to be real estate agents, but when you say, how is the market? They don't even know how to answer the question. They don't know how many houses are sitting in specific suburb on the market today. What's the average day on the market? What's the average sold price versus list price? And so, coming from corporate background in Six Sigma, I just mastered the market. Like, I knew that, I would go on listing appointments and people referred me to people, and the referral people would say, she will tell you the truth, whether it's painful or not. So I would go on listing appointments and people go, well, I would like to list my house at 500, knowing that the value of their home was 450. I kind of turn it around and I said, I understand you want 500. Monica wants to be 21. It's not happening. The average price in your neighborhood is this. The average day on the market is this. So, if you want to sell your house, this is what you're looking at. If you want to list your house, we can list it at 550, but you're not selling it. And so being able to educate consumer, whether we were on the buying side or seller side, start positioning me as the trusted real estate agent between my friends who refer me to friends and neighbors who refer me to neighbors. And, in 08, 09, a lot of people were losing, houses, people were upside down, but I would always go with the intention to help sellers or buyers provide education and provide data to make the best decision they could to move forward or not to move forward, whether we listed house or rented house. I mean, in 08, 09, I rented more houses as a listing agent than I sold, because we look at the numbers and we ran what's the risk, what's the return on investment, versus selling. If you would lose $40,000-$50,000 home selling it today versus if you rent it for a year or two. So I took my corporate background into real estate and I said, how can I bring the data? Because real estate, it's funny, people get real estate license because they like houses. But to sell house, you need to understand real estate market. Like, we are professional advisors who are helping people with the largest investment of their lives. And it's our moral responsibility to provide data and educate consumer so they can make right financial decision, whether they buying or selling. And that's how I grew my business from one house first year to 35 to become number one RE/MAX agent in state of Ohio. And then I left RE/MAX and became number one EXP agent in state of Ohio. And we close on average 100 to 120 houses every year for the last 12 years. But, it's just like running. I started with nothing. And so when I coach my agents, I tell them, you always have to be the educator and know your market. It blows my mind how many people don't even understand the market they're showing property or selling property. So if you have to start somewhere, just learn the market every morning, get on MLS. How many houses do we have in Mason? How many houses are active, pending, sold? What's the average price? What's the average day on the market? So when you talk to people, you sound like you know what you're talking about.
Well, Monika, that is undoubtedly important. In fact, brand new agents, I encourage you to go out and preview at least 5 properties a day. Just get to know the neighborhoods, get to know the subdivisions, understand the school districts. What's the average price per square foot in this neighborhood versus that neighborhood? What's the average lot size? Who are the builders? I mean, just that knowledge base is part of your foundation, right? So there's 4 categories to your foundation. It's your knowledge, skills, your mindset, your habits. Now, there's a couple of things that came up. Monika, you talked about building a database. Now, how did you get focused on that? And was there a standard you had for yourself to how many people you're going to add to the database every single day or week or month? What did that look like?
So as I said, I started with one friend, Bia, and it grew. And we have over 2,000 clients today in my sphere of influence database. But what I do, I'm a human who loves on humans. Like, I love people. So I literally make a daily habit. It's a little steps to big success, just like running. You know, you run 2-3 miles every day. One day you become really good. So I call on my sphere of influence, I call 10 people every day. And the majority of my discussions are not real estate. I would call, like Cheryl is a perfect example, you know, older couple, I moved here from Columbus, and I would just call them and check on them. I said, hey, how you guys doing? You know, how is your husband? They just retired, and they moved here 7 years ago, and I check on them maybe once a quarter, just, hey guys, how you doing? You know, how are kids, how are grandkids? I saw your post on social media. We don't talk real estate. They just know I'm still there for them in case they need any real estate advice or help. And she called today. She's like, hey, Monika, we're looking at downsizing. You know, land is not doing well. We want a condo, disability accessible. But we've been talking about non-real estate related issues for 7 years. So it's just checking on people, touching base with your sphere of influence. I have never paid for leads, ever. 90% of my business is referral. And the worst thing that happens to me is if I see one of my clients list with another agent, I go, oh, like I did not talk to, and I know exactly why they did it because I did not reach out to them for 6 months. So I make it religious practice talking to my clients. And it's not talking about, hey, are you considering moving, selling? But people want to talk about kids and, you know, dogs and parents and grandparents. And so it's just building this relationship. And when people say, hey, what's the mortgage rate? Well, this is the rate today. They go, I want to refinance. Well, let's talk about refinancing. What makes sense? What doesn't make sense? You know, so they call me. I become their source of referrals. I need a nanny. I need a vet. I need a roofer. I need a painter. I need staging. I want to buy new furniture. People call me randomly for, hey, I need, like my kids are soccer players. Hey, which team are you boys playing on? So it becomes truly relationship that we nurture for years and years. It's just like a planting farm. You plant seeds and next thing you know, the business blossom and people go, wow, you did an amazing job. Well, it took years to get there. And I believe in providing Ritz-Carlton experience for my clients. So they're so excited and happy with the way we took care of them that they would not let any of their friends, family, neighbors to even consider listing or selling or buying house without us.
Monika, I love it. All right. So you'd mentioned a question that you get asked all the time. In fact, you guys, when you meet somebody and you tell them that you're in real estate, maybe you're in line at Starbucks or at the grocery store, what is the number one question they ask you? How's the market?
How is the market?
Right. And now, how do you respond? I want you to think about this just for a second. Everybody on this call, how do you respond? What do you say?
Where you live?
How do you say
because
it?
the market in Mason, I mean, this is Cincinnati. I'm in Cincinnati. So the market in Mason versus Indian Hill is very different. So it depends where you live. So I would go where you live. So if they say, hey, I live in Indian Hill, I said, well, the Indian Hill market is still on fire. The average price per square foot in Indian Hill today, if the house is updated, we're looking between $300 and $400 per square foot. So if your house is newer or a little more updated, you're looking between $300 and $400. So if you have 5,000 square footage house, you can very easily just put a price tag without me even physically going in. However, if your house is less updated, this is what we're looking. If you sit on a nice piece of land, you know, 5 acres, I just sold 5 acres for $1.6 million for dirt. So I always go, where do you live? So let's talk specific because we are selfish as humans and we really don't care about John and Sean. We care about me and my market. So I always go, where do you live? And then we go from there because people ask about real estate market, but all they want to know is how is my real estate market, because I really don't care about the rest of Cincinnati. I want to know how is mine. So I turn the question and go, where you live, and then you provide data because you're the market expert. You know what's the square footage going for. You know what's the average day on the market. You know you can go below 2 million. We see that house is selling within 11 days. If you go 2 million and longer, you had 76 days on the market. And they go, wow, you know your stuff. Can I have your card? And you know, it just so easy to have intelligent discussion with the consumer you don't even know. I pick up clients in Kroger, Starbucks, Panera, soccer fields, just because people go, how is the market? And when they feel comfortable that you truly know the market and you are a real estate professional, you will pick up buyers and sellers just walking around the neighborhood.
I love it, Monica. So with that said, you guys, as realtors, and some of you are going to cringe at this word, salespeople. As salespeople, we get to ask questions. And this is how we sell. Question selling is always going to be the highest return on your investment of time and investment of energy and the words that you use. So what Monica's doing, they say, how's the market? She says, well, that really depends. Where are you located? What she's doing is she's answering a question with the question. Does that make sense? My wife came to me and she said, Sean, why do you answer every question with another question? I said, well, why do you ask? We want to answer questions with questions. So here's my input. Somebody says, how's the market? You say, that really depends. Are you asking because you're looking to buy a home, sell a house, or invest in real estate? Which is it? Now, you can just flat out just give them your opinion of the overarching market, which Monica is saying, don't do that. Find out first where they live and why are they asking, right? So here's the script again. How's the market, Sean? Well, that really depends. Are you asking because you're looking to buy a home, sell a house, or invest in real estate? Which is it? Okay, where's the property located? And now here's where your knowledge comes in. See, your opinion of the market is going to be different for somebody who's looking to invest in real estate versus buy in real estate as a homeowner or sell real estate. Maybe it's a land purchase. Your response is going to be different. You have to qualify that question. It's a sales opportunity and you can't let it go. So thank you for that, Monica. You also mentioned earlier in our discussion a Six Sigma approach. So talk to us about how that's really impacted your business and really just building systems. Now, by the way, before you answer, a system to me is a standardized process that produces a consistent and predictable result. You do it the same way each and every single time. And you find that consistency in your business. See, one thing I love about real estate.
I love, it's Six Sigma is analytical approach to input and output. So people go, well, I want to sell my house at 700. I understand. Let's look at the data. You slice and dice the data because real estate is a very emotional process. Majority of sellers will update roof, will update windows, will update furnace, but they don't update kitchen and bathrooms, right? Because they think I just put new roof, new furnace, new window. I spend, 50,000 in upgrades. I should get 50,000 more than my neighbor. So you bring data showing, the data shows that it's just like for sale by owner. Data shows, not Monica says so. Data shows that the highest return on your investment will be if your kitchen is updated, if your master bathroom is updated. You use data to bring the seller's opinion of the value. This is what I want. Just because I put new roof, new furnace, instead of me saying I really don't care or I don't give second thought about your furnace, or because everybody wants new furnace, new roof, new window, but nobody's willing to pay premium. You bring the research and you bring comps showing, well, this house had new kitchen, new bathroom, finished lower level, they go 20,000 more than the house that was advertised, a new furnace, new roof, new whatever water heater. And instead of putting emotions in the business decision, because every seller who spends 50,000 on window and roof is very emotional because they just spend tons of money on stuff that really doesn't matter. So instead of you coming to them saying it doesn't really matter, Mr. Seller, I know the buyer will be tickled to get it all new, but they're really gonna come lower because your kitchen and bathroom has not been touched since 1980s. And because of your furnace or water heater. So I use very non-emotional, data-driven approach to pricing the house.
Yeah, see, these are emotional type objections. Yes, and by the way, there's only one reason the property doesn't sell. And guys, lean in with me here, okay? Only one reason a property does not sell. What do you suppose it is? It's price. It's always price. You say, no, it's the condition. No, it's the price. I mean, sure, you can improve the condition, no doubt about that. They say it's the location. It backs up to an 8-lane highway, Sean. I can't sell it because there's too much noise in the backyard. The people can't sleep. I promise you it's price. It's always price. So your pricing strategy at the front end is going to be critically important. And during our next webinar, where I'm going to go through the listing presentation, I'm going to give you the pricing presentation to where your sellers list the price at a property that's going to sell. It's not that you're trying to beat them down on price. You're just getting them to be realistic. We don't make the market. We simply interpret the market. And I'm going to show you how to interpret that and cast that vision as to what their property is going to fetch realistically in today's market. Plus, I'm going to show you how to posture after the listing contract is signed as to what happens if you go 10 days without a single showing or 5 showings without a single offer. Here's what we're going to do. And what you're doing is you're setting and then managing the appropriate expectations. And the pricing of listings, guys, it's literally setting and managing the appropriate expectations. The worst thing you could do is overprice a property and have it sit on the market for 14, 15, 20 months with your sign out there. That's just saying, hey, you can't sell a house. So the best thing you can do, though, is engage in the strategy that I want to share with you during our next webinar and make sure that those properties get sold quickly for the highest amount of money possible. Then you can boast your list price to sales price ratios. You can boast your average days on market, and success leaves clues. People get this. You shout those results from the rooftops, your social media, your email campaigns, your direct marketing campaigns, direct mail campaigns, whatever that is, text messaging campaigns, ring those voicemail. However you choose to get the word out, you just need something to brag about. And that's what Monika's starting to talk about, no doubt about that. So Monika, you brought up a couple of other things, and I don't want this to slip through the cracks because, the reason that I have, all of these, footballs and helmets and golf gloves and hockey pucks and basketballs behind me is because it reminds me that it's about the fundamentals. These people like Terry Bradshaw, like Roger Staubach, Terrell Davis, John Elway, Patrick Manning, Shannon Sharp, Mike Ditka, Joe Namath, people who I've met personally and had them sign a football for me or a basketball like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Michael Jordan. Tiger Woods is over here. I've got so many. I've met these people individually and personally. And what they will tell you, while they've achieved extraordinary success, let's face it, they're GOATs. They're the greatest of all time. And what they've told me, it's about the fundamentals. And that is the underlining just foundation of every conversation I've had with these individuals, the guys that has impacted me in such a powerful way. And I wanted to impact you in such a powerful way to master the basics. These guys will work 3 years to take a half second off their 40. They will just work and work and work to master it. And that's why you've showed up to this webinar today. And that's why I brought our guest, Monika, to help you master it. And as you get closer and closer toward mastery, it's so elusive, right? There's always a different thing. There's always some new technology that we get to plug into and master. Yet it takes 10,000 hours to master anything. And yet, as you're getting closer and you get to that phase of leverage within your business, where you're adding models, systems, technology, and people, I want you to really kind of face toward these other vendors that I brought to the call today. People like Greg, Crystal, Leland. What they're doing is they're going to help you add line extensions to your current strategy to help you really wring it out, to get as much money out of every transaction as you possibly can. As I said earlier, $83,000 is pumped into the U.S. economy on every real estate transaction. I don't care if it's a $60,000 condo or a $7 million residential property. The average across the board is $83,000 per transaction. I want you to get your unfair share of that. I just think it makes sense. With a little bit of effort, you guys could make more money per transaction. So plug in with these guys. In fact, Greg, Crystal, Leland, if you guys wouldn't mind, just post to the chat again your contact information, because we had several people join a little bit late. They didn't hear what you had to say. Yet I just want you to just investigate this, you guys. I promise you it's gonna help you provide for yourself and your loved ones at a much higher level for years and years and years to come. And I think that's what we all want, no doubt. Okay, so Monika, back to you. First year in real estate, closed 1 transaction, then you closed 5, and then you jumped up to 35. What did it feel like when you started getting into that position of momentum? Was it a feeling of, hey, look at me, ego-based, or was it a feeling of gratitude toward the people who'd helped you get there? Talk to me about just the emotions, because I want these guys to experience those emotions. I want them to understand what it's going to feel like when they get there.
I think every newer agent on the call, everybody goes, what's the magic formula? How do you go from 1 to 120 transactions per year? And I think every agent has a secret sauce, whatever that is. For me, it was people to people business. So 90% of my business is referral, but I would never, ever let Sunday go by without doing open house. I would always raise my hand and I said, can I do open house? And when you're doing open house, it's your time to shine. It's your time to educate consumer. I pick up on every open house, I would pick up at least one client. So if you do open houses every Sunday, people go, I don't want to do open house. And I'm like, why would you not want to be in front of consumer who raises his hand, comes to you and said, hey, I'm here to buy a house. It's just some people take 6 months, some takes 2 weeks. Every buyer is different. Every story is different. But open houses for me have been gold mine. When I first started, I had no money to invest in marketing. Remember, I made $1,200 a year. So there was no, there was no direct mailing. There was no YouTube. There was no money to reinvest in my business. As my business grew, I would say, what can I do to connect with more people and reach out to more people? So we start doing mailers to the neighborhood. And majority of younger agents say, well, it doesn't work. I have a neighborhood that I live in the neighborhood. We started mailing to the neighborhood for 3 years. Every other month, when I first started, I had no money. Year 3, we started doing mail to the neighborhood for 3 years, every other month, because that's what I could afford back then. And we mailed every other month for 3 years. And my husband would say, why are you doing it? It doesn't work. And I'm like, well, we're just getting started. After 3rd year, my phone started ringing and I became number 1. I almost owned that neighborhood exclusively. Like nobody moves out of the neighborhood unless they call me. But what I see majority of people do, they're like rabbits. Hey, let's try that. We tried for 6 months. It's a new lead generation platform. They try for 6 months and they go, it doesn't work. And they jump to the new, whatever it is, right? And then they do it for 2-3 months and they go, well, it doesn't work. And then we jump back instead of find your niche. Whatever that is, mail or YouTube, Instagram, I don't know, whatever you're good at. Everybody's different. Some people, we have EXP has KV Core and, I use KV Core. Whatever you're good at, just do it for 2-3 years. I will promise you, it will come back to you 10 times back. But people quit. It's like running, you go out and you go, okay, I've been running 2-3 miles, for 2 months, I'm gonna go race. And, your race is terrible. You don't do well. And you're like, well, it didn't work. Let's go bowling now. I mean, you got to stick with that. And so I think that's the biggest mistake the agents do, or they completely quit and drop out of real estate business altogether. If I listened to everybody, my first 2 years, I wouldn't be here today. So find whatever you're good at. I did open houses, I did direct mailing, but always evolve, always look at where's the business going next. And once you have a little more funding to invest in your business, say, okay, where's the next investment I can make in my business to continue to grow? So for me, it was never, oh, I'm here, let's stop. It's like, how can we go to the next level? And what does that next level looks like? Right now, we investing money in YouTube. Like I'm recording videos because I'm like, this is where the next thing is coming from. But how do I learn YouTube? How do I master? How do I do it so consumers find me on YouTube? You're never too good to continue to grow. And, like I was number 1 Remax agent in state of Ohio. I have been number 1 EXP agent in Ohio. So when you're on the top of the, take me to the levels I did not even know existed. I mean, Sean sold 500 plus houses a year when he was in production. So find somebody like Sean who can pull you to the next level, because they're gonna open eyes to the possibilities you didn't even know existed. I was a professional runner in my previous life. And at one point, I ran all my girls' friends. I ran for Czechoslovakia. I'm from Czechoslovakia, born and raised there. So I ran for national team. And at one point, I ran majority of girls. So the coach moved me to the guys' team so they can kick my ass and take me to the next level. And that's what I tell people. Find somebody who can take you from whether you're selling 20 houses or 40 or 100, because there's always next level. We have people in our company selling 7,000 houses a year. So when I came to this company, I was like, wow, I'm back to the kindergarten, and let's reach out to these top producing agents and say, how in the world it is even humanly possible for somebody to sell 500, 7,000 houses? Show me the way, because if you're coachable and you're willing to put the work in, there's the next level that you don't even know exists. So when I reached 35 houses, I was like, okay, how do we go to the next level? Because there's always the next step, but you have to be open-minded. You have to be open to coaches, and you have to always look and invest in your business and invest in yourself, coaching, masterminds, conventions. I mean, whatever works for you and your budget. But I see so many agents saying, I'm not going to convention, it's too expensive. And I'm like, how are you gonna grow without you even knowing that you can go to that next level with the ChatGPT, YouTube channels? I mean, I wouldn't even know these things existed.
Well said, Monica. No doubt about that. Guys, we don't know what we don't know, right? And it's really hard to read the label when you're stuck inside the bottle. And so aligning with somebody who's been there, done that, understands the methodology, how to get you from here to there, I think is a really smart thing to do. In fact, a lot of people are hesitant to do that. Well, I'm going to pay the coach whether I produce or not. We've installed a new coaching system. Guys, it's what I call results-driven coaching. That you don't pay for coaching unless you close transactions. Okay. So, and by the way, it's got a cap to it. It's a really unique model. It's a disruptive model that's absolutely going to get more people engaged with coaching, which I just love, because when you engage with a coach, when you open your mind to coaching, you open your mind to accountability. And when you've got clarity, knowing what to do, when to do it, who's going to do it with you or for you, guys, nothing is going to stop you. So in a results-driven coaching model, again, you don't pay for coaching unless you produce. So there's no risk. See, I've built many coaching companies in the past, from MAPS Coaching at Keller Williams to over 5,000 clients, over 100 million in gross revenue, to Icon Coaching, MAPS Business Training. And all of them were not a predicated fee model. They were a you pay whether you produce or not model. And so I think that held a lot of people back from getting into coaching that truly needed it, that could really benefit from it. So we've come up with our results-driven predicated model coaching, that you don't pay for coaching unless you produce. It's one-on-one. It's done on Zoom meeting with one of our coaches. They're going to walk you through my methodology that has helped McDonald's, Panasonic, FedEx, Sport Clips, a whole bunch of companies, GMC, Pepsi, just to name a few. And guys, you don't pay until you close, until you produce, okay? So I just encourage you. Rob, what's the action you want them to take if they want to investigate the predicated coaching model, results-driven coaching? Do you want them just to email me directly, Rob?
Yeah, that would be great. And I think that Day is going to be putting it over into the chat. Day, go ahead and put it over into the chat to be able to reach Sean. And everybody, listen, this is a disruptive coaching program. Nobody that I know of is doing this. And I study a lot of coaching programs out here. To be able to be coached by some of the best coaches in America, and you don't have to pay unless you produce. Why wouldn't almost everybody do that? Now, I think there is a minimum. I think you may have said that, Sean, 3 million in volume. And however, that's only, for some people, that's only 3 or 4 deals. For some, it might be 6 or 7 transactions. I'm not sure. But again, and if you are less than 3 million, I would like to talk to you about some other options also. Okay, so I think we got the best of both worlds there, Sean. And I'll put my email address over there where they can contact me if they're less than 3 million, because my goal is to get them to 3 million, right?
That's right.
And then your goal is to get them to 100 million.
Least.
So let Sean and I help you out on getting to those 2 plateaus. And right there is my email address, and there's Sean's. And please go there and let's make this happen.
See, we all want to soar with our strengths, right? Now, let me tell you, Rob Daniel, the CEO of Icon Coaching, his strength is working with the newer agents to really get that rock solid foundation. And by the way, with the right foundation, gang, you can build your business as big as you want to build it, right? 4 categories to your foundation. It's your knowledge, your skills, your mindset, and your habits. And I can think of no one better other than Rob to help you do that in a very low fee model. This is the best investment you'll ever make into accelerated breakthrough. So Rob, I appreciate you doing that. Now, if you're 3 million plus in total sales volume, I want you to reach out to me and we'll have a conversation about what's going on with your business, what's going on with your strategy. What are the gaps? What are the holes? How do we build bridges over those gaps? And how do we fill those holes? And we can do that very effectively. And we'll help you shortcut the process and get you to make a heck of a lot more money, guys, in a predicated fee model. So you don't pay unless you close a transaction. So Monika, back over to you. You'd mentioned your unique value proposition, or what I call the UVP. Can you give that to all of us right now, just your UVP, your unique value proposition? Meaning, if I were to buy a home in Cincinnati, or if I were to list my home for sale in Cincinnati, why on earth would I call Monika?
Because we're gonna make it happen.
I love it, with a huge smile, because we're gonna make it happen. Okay, so how are you gonna make it happen?
So if you're on the list side, we had a property a couple years ago. I know the seller fairly well. I assisted his kids to purchase property, and he was listed for a couple of years with different agents who offered maybe discount commission. He was listed with the different agents, and he said, Monika, I love you. I really want to have you sell my house. And I said, when you're ready to do it the right way, I will get it sold. It was $3 million property. They sat on the market for a couple of years. We've been talking because I was assisting his children with the real estate purchases. And to almost going on to 3rd year on the market, he reached out to me and he said, okay, I'm ready. And we took a listing after 3 years sitting on the market, and we sold it in 2 weeks. And so, but we don't cut corners. We spend excessive amount of money, was high-end property, on marketing, advertising, videos, YouTube channel, just to make sure, when you make people promise, we're gonna get this done and we're gonna make it happen, you deliver. We staged it. I mean, we had landscaping people, like we got the house ready for people to get excited, because you always look at your listings from perceptions of consumer. What will consumer buy? Think of this property, and what is it that's going to get specific consumer at specific price point excited, right? Sometimes it's price, but sometimes it's also condition. People underestimate, condition of the property. Now, if you're on the flip side, we're purchasing property, we make sure when we in multiple offer situation, we educate you on how to make the most attractive offer, so the seller gets excited about accepting my offer versus 17 other offers, because of our name and reputation in the business is we will close, we will deliver. So it's just, it's making it happen, whether we have buyers and sellers, in knowing how to make it happen.
I love it. Okay, good. So here's what I want you guys to tune in here. What Monika just did is she went straight to storytelling. Now, storytelling, see, everybody wants to learn through the mistakes of others. Are you with me? They also want to learn through the success of others. And you've heard me say this before, I'm going to say it again. The smart person, they learn from their own mistakes. The exceptional people learn from the mistakes of others, yet the smartest people, they learn from the successes of those that have gone before them. And that's what Monika's doing, is she's doing storytelling. I want you to break this apart into 3 different categories. Okay, first, problem. What was the problem? It's been on the market for 2.5 years. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a
solution?
Beautiful property, and obviously at that price point, it's a stunning, absolutely gorgeous estate, but it has not been updated to the taste of buyers entering real estate market at that price point today. So we kind of brought the decor, we brought stager, we neutralized the furniture, we brought more modern furniture. Their furniture was beyond this world. It was absolutely gorgeous, imported from all over the world, but it was not exactly what the buyer consumers are looking for in today's day and market. So, we presented the property to the buyers, where buyers were excited. We did open houses, we did TV advertising, YouTube, ad, Facebook, Instagram. We push it through social media channel to make sure not only we advertise and promote this property to the consumer, but we brought sure the buyers outside of this local market were aware and were notified and advertised this property because it was one of truly kind. It was absolutely gorgeous, but before, I think the reach of marketing and advertising was very local, and you have to always think outside of the box. How can I possibly bring the highest number of buyers who can afford this beautiful property? And so many times it's advertising and promoting properties outside of local market. And the question is, how do you reach people overseas, people in LA, Miami, Chicago, higher luxury market clients, and how do you bring it to their attention? So it's going to take little money to push and advertise, but ultimately you have a happy seller who refers you to their friends and families, and the business continue to grow because they know you're true professional and you're gonna make it happen.
I love it, Monika. That's so good. And by the way, if you guys have questions, you can do one of two things. Either type your question into the chat, or you could just go down to the bottom of your screen and click on that little reactions. Actually, it's not called reactions anymore. Rob, what's it called? I don't see it.
React. It has a heart.
Oh, react. Okay. So yeah, you just raise your hand there and we'll call upon you. We'll make sure to get your question answered for sure. But Monika, you bring up so many great things, yet I have a very just pointed question that I want to ask you. And that is, you've got a luxury listing. What are you doing specifically that's unique that the other agent did not do?
I think you spend money to make money.
Okay,
So many of the agents just take listings up. You have to actively working. We did a lot of push through YouTube channel, through TV, as Instagram and Facebook ads, and I think the exposure is what brought the buyers to the property.
Gotcha. Okay. So you'd also earlier mentioned open houses. What are you doing that's different or unique at your open houses? Or what did you do to start building your production from one transaction to 120?
I would always raise my hand and say, who needs open house this weekend? I'm here for you. And, you host open houses and you present the market knowledge you have, you talk to buyers and sellers, they come to open house, and then you follow up and you follow up and you follow up until the consumer cannot even think about the realtor who moved them 10 years ago because you've been talking to them for the last 3 months nonstop. The only real estate agents they think about is you. So I think the magic to the open house, you do open house, you take buyers, registration, their phone number and email, and then you follow up. Hey, Mr. Buyer, we just drove price $10,000. Hey, Mr. Buyer, we have another offer on the table. Would you like to put offer, or is there another property you would like to consider? So the magic in real estate is follow up and staying in touch with people who walk through your open house because you met them. So you have a personal relationship. Now you just follow up until they can't even remember who was the agent they used 7 years ago, because all you remember is you, because you stayed in touch with them for a year or 3 months or 6 months. So many of my open house people, like I'm buying somebody's house today, we brought an offer on it. I met them 3 months ago at open house and I just stayed in touch. Hey, here's the value of your home. Here's the new listing in this market you're considering. Here's the school property in the schools your kids go to. So I just, stayed in touch with them for 3 months. I met them in May. We brought our offer today. Since May, you're the only one who stayed in touch with us.
Gotcha. So an agent who's struggling right now, their back's against the wall. They're wondering, where's my next listing coming from? How am I going to find my next buyer? What advice would you have for them, Monika?
I would, ask agents who have listings, can I post your listing? I encourage all my agents, take my listing, post it on social media and say, who wants to see it? I mean, when we started, we didn't have that social media platform. Post my listing, say, beautiful home at 123 Main Street. If you want to see it, please give me a call, 513-289-1039, courtesy of EXP Monika Deroussel. Go. Think outside the box. If you have no listings, create momentum, go to the builder, new open market home, do the video, beautiful house built by Fisher Home on Main Street. If you're interested in looking at that house, let's talk. Like, I wish we started when we had all the social media we have today. Like, you can create momentum without even trying. There's so many agents going into the business brand new who are crushing it because they use and leverage social media.
Undoubtedly. Monika, so many agents, they say, well, I don't have a listing right now. What am I going to offer? So what did you do when you didn't have any listings?
Well, when you don't have listing, ask experienced agent, hey, can I promote and leverage your listing?
And by the way, guys, if you ask 10 agents in a row and they say, no, absolutely not, we don't want you to post our listing on social media, ask the 11th, because you're eventually going to find an agent who says, yes, go ahead and promote that for me. And it's probably only going to take you one or two phone calls.
I'm a brand new agent, I have no listing. I will call Sean and say, hey, Sean, this is Monika. I see you have this beautiful home on 123 Main Street. Would you mind if I help you promote, advertise, and push your listing through my social media to get your house exposed to additional buyers that you wouldn't have without my circle of influence? I mean, Sean would have to, I don't know, why would he say no? Because what I'm offering is to help him sell it, promote it, advertise, and bring additional buyers that he may not have without my help. So just how the buyer's agents or newer agents present it to these experienced agents, right? But if you show Sean there's a value of Monika promoting his listing, he's going to say, yeah, no brainer, no question, go.
Yeah, no doubt. So guys, if you don't have a lot of friends on social, you don't have a lot of followers, what I want you to do is I want you to start by just grabbing your cell phone seriously and just go through every contact record in your cell phone. Ask, are they local to my market? Do they know me? Do they like me? Do they trust me? If so, friend them on social channels. Start building that presence, okay? Now, all of us are proactive on social channels for the most part. At some level, maybe it's down here, maybe it's up here. Yet, I want you to be intentional with your social media interactions. Part of our accountability forum associated with the Accelerated Breakthrough Program, which Rob leverages at a very high level to help people double their production, it requires that you do 20 intentional actions on social every single day. So again, we're all active on social channels, yet my question is, are you intentional with your interactions on social media? And that's what the accountability form does. You print off one every single day. You just cross off the boxes every time you accomplish the task. It takes 20, 25 minutes in total, yet it helps you build that omnipresent local brand so that when they think real estate, they think you. And that's exactly what Monika has done. And so with that said, we've only got a minute left. Are there any questions for Monika right now? Or for me, or for Rob, or for Greg? Or
Hey, Sean, I'd like to just make an observation, if you don't mind, of what Monika has said. She related many times about running and that she's a runner and that kind of thing. And I certainly did a lot of running myself over the last 10, 15 years.
Rob, she left her home at 10 years old and got into boarding school and was just trained to be a runner. So she's instinctively got this discipline about her that allows her to form habits pretty quickly.
Well,
No doubt
yeah.
about that.
And
I mean,
but
she's
here's the
training for
thing.
the Olympics, for Christ's sakes.
I want to relate it to real estate though for just a moment, real quick. You know, she didn't jump right to the Olympics. She didn't jump right. She had to train little by little by little. I would assume, Monika, okay, right whenever you started. And that's the same thing with us, everybody. Learn your scripts and dialogues and listing presentation and handling objection techniques and your buyer presentation and all these type of things. That is what's going to get you to the marathon. That's what's going to get you to the finish line. It is not saying I'm in real estate and I just want to jump all the way up to here of doing 10 million or 20 million or 30 million. It's starting with the basics, the fundamentals, like Monika said, doing open houses, doing this, doing that, calling another agent. Can I post your listing? So please do the basics. If you are not where Monika is today, do the basics. Give it time. She was persistent. Give it time. It may take a year. It may take 2 years. It may take 6 months. So again, just do the basics and then get to the finish line and run forever.
Hey, Rob, give them the date of our listing presentation webinar.
September the 16th which is a Monday, 3 p.m. Put that over there, if you will, day, if you have that link.
Yeah, guys, just go ahead and block your calendar right now and
16.
treat that like a $5 million listing appointment. Okay. Because your
Yeah.
business production, your income, it's going to grow to the extent that you personally grow. And so I just encourage you to carve out that time. It's going to be well worth your investment. I promise you. Monika, any final thoughts or words of wisdom that you want to impart upon our participants today?
Thank you, Sean, for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Monika. You've been just an amazing coachee, if you will. And I'll tell you what, guys, the difference between extraordinary success and below average results, it's simply speed of implementation. That's it. And Monika is an implementer. She will implement and deploy as fast as possible. And here's the secret. Fail as fast as you can, yet fail forward. Meaning there's no such thing as failure, only learning experiences. And because you're failing faster than anyone else with your strategies and tactics, maybe this didn't work, maybe that didn't work. You're going to find what works faster than anyone else. And when you find something that works, guys, it's just a matter of scalability, right? Apply additional time, energy, money, resources, people, whatever it takes, scale it out. And it's not about mastering everything. It's just a matter of mastering a handful of things, guys. So we heard some great information from Monika, going from 1 transaction to 120 transactions, just a commitment to your sphere of influence and building that on a consistent and repetitive basis. You know, Will posted to the chat, don't do more than maybe 2 friend requests per day, because Facebook with their algorithms will lock you out. And that's always challenging when you get locked out of Facebook. How many of you guys been locked out of Facebook other than me? It took us a month to get the thing back up online. So just painful when that happens. So just be cautious, be careful. And next webinar, we're going to go through the listing presentation. So until we talk again next time, guys, just be on purpose, be productive, be powerful. Monika, my hat is off to you. You're just an amazing individual and such an inspiration to all of us. Thank you for your time and your focus, your attention, just your strategies and tactics. I appreciate hearing that. So thank you all for being here. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.
See you, everybody. Thank you, Monika.
Thank you.